Folks, I'll tell you what, I've called the pro-Hamas, anti-Israel lunatics. I've called them idiots, I've called them dopes, I've called them goons. I guess now, quite frankly, I can call them winners. You know, for as wrong as they are for what they're doing, for as much as the breaking of the law that they're doing, with the rioting on these campuses, taking over colleges, they're winning. Literally, these colleges and universities are caving. I'd say caving, but it's not really caving because the administrators think just like these people. They trained them, okay? Occidental College, this is a college that Barack Obama went to. They are now going to be divesting any investment in Israel. Here's protesters boasting about getting UC Riverside. It looks like they're going to divest from Israel. Roll that cut two.
So I'd like to announce, after 8 long hours of negotiation yesterday with Chancellor Wilcox, Provost Elizabeth Watkins, and Vice Chancellor Haynes, in partnership with Dr. Christine Victorino and Hibam Assad, we have decided that we have gotten to an agreement that robustly meets our demands, which led to the dissolution of this encampment today.
You mean they bowed to terrorist actions, which is what happened. But again, I tell you this because the administration really agrees with all of these lunatics. They are winning, though, on many of these campuses. There's some states they're not winning, though. I've showed you over and over again video of my home state that I love so much, how you handle protesters here in Texas. And there's other things at a legislative level that can be done to stop these people in their tracks. Well, I want to bring in now Republican Texas State Senator, as well as chairman of the Texas State Senate Education Committee. Senator Brandon Creighton is with us. Senator, it is great to have you on the program.
Yeah, it's good to be with you.
So we always talk, at least I do on this program, about the Texas model. I wish it would spread more across the country instead of the California model spreading like wildfire. What's the takeaway that you would like people to know how Texas is handling the same situation we've seen on college campuses in this state?
Well, I appreciate you having me on and welcoming the conversation as always. Texas and our response has been exactly the polar opposite of what you just mentioned is happening at Occidental. What we've seen is a dumpster fire at UCLA, Columbia, Harvard, where academic buildings were taken over, maintenance crews were held hostage for hours, and the American flag was lowered and replaced by the Palestinian flag. These protesters are not all students, but we also know these protesters have been on campus organizing with students since October 7th, when the Palestinian Hamas organized terrorists attacked and slaughtered more Jewish residents than any time since the Holocaust. With what happened in Israel, we're seeing these organized efforts across America, and the University of Texas, the Texas Senate, the governor and lieutenant governor of Texas, we're just not going to allow this to happen. And I think you see the differences in play on exactly that. No barricades, no violence, no hate speech. And that is exactly what you're seeing as a clinic for the rest of America on the campus of the University of Texas at Austin on how to handle this appropriately.
I believe this is all connected to the diversity, equity, and inclusion, the Antifa movement, the hatred for success, which is really what it actually is. You have been so instrumental. Some fellow Republicans in Austin have been instrumental in getting DEI out of our schools. Do you believe it's connected, and how important was that move that Texas is making to do that?
Well, it's absolutely connected. It's the ultimate example of hypocrisy, right? I had an 8-hour debate on the Senate floor for my legislation to ban DEI units on all college campuses in Texas. That bill took effect in January. There have been radical student protests and faculty protests where almost 700 faculty members have called on the University of Texas president to resign in a vote of no confidence. I can tell you for sure that the faculty senate at UT and on other campuses is absolutely not the Texas Senate. We stand for Texas values. We absolutely don't put up with this garbage. And isn't it the incredible example of hypocrisy for those that are fighting for the nomenclature of diversity, equity, and inclusion to all gather together on the greatest example of exclusivity we've seen in America lately, which is to threaten Jewish students and Jewish faculty in chanting from the river to the sea revolution, which is a chant to annihilate Israel, as the next day they try to form a DEI protection ban exhibiting their culture of inclusivity. It's just amazing how much these people are absolute imbeciles and just don't know their history, don't stand for Texas values, and we're not going to put up with it in this great state.
Well, we shouldn't be putting up with it at all, and I know we're not. And the large majority of Texans say enough is enough with this, and it seems to me like we're getting redder and redder as people flock to this state to get away from all the craziness in other states. Texas State Senator Brandon Creighton, I so appreciate you coming on today. Thank you, sir.
Thanks for the time, and appreciate what you do day in and day out.